Hello, good afternoon. Hello, welcome everyone. Hello. Ooh, sorry. Hello, welcome everyone. Hello, yeah. On behalf of Mom Marriott K. Dolsingh, my sisters Nishi, Atri, and our respective families, we'd like to thank you all for coming here today. It's not an easy evening, as you can see, but we're happy that you all have, been able to make it. We have people from abroad who've come even as of today, and we thank you for coming. Today is just a celebration of Dad. Everyone in this room has had a story with Dad, and we want to have it informal. If anyone would like to come up, say something, how Dad has touched your lives, a quote, feel free to come up, no pressure, and just share with the group, what Dad meant to you. I think he would like that. So, anyway, thank you.
Hi, it's nice to see everyone. I'm Pete Beausoleil. Uncle Feller is my mom's brother, and she passed away 6 months ago. It's interesting that those two, my mom and my uncle, passed in that order, closing out the generational chapter of the Dolsingh family. I think they're probably the most fitting two to carry that torch and blow it out for the rest of eternity, and for us who followed to be inspired by what they have achieved, and certainly by the love they have given us in the best way they could. I want to share two things with you. I want to share a story and my personal inspiration, my uncle being my personal inspiration. And also, I want to read the article that was published in the Sun Express, I believe, today, and on Facebook, from the President's Office of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me read that first for you, for those of you who haven't read it. It was a really nice tribute to Uncle Feller, and it reads like this. The Office from the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Her Excellency Christine Carla Kangaloo, ORTT, extends condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues on the passing of Hubert Dolsingh. Mr. Dolsingh started his insurance career in 1957. Kangaloo, he possessed a wealth of experience and knowledge and conducted training sessions, lectured both at home and abroad, and hosted a weekly radio and TV call-in programs on matters related to the NIS system. Apart from the insurance career, Mr. Dolsingh served in many voluntary organizations, which included 18 years as president of the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association. He was also the chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and president of the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Commissioners of Affidavits. In 1989, he was bestowed the Hummingbird Medal Gold in the sphere of voluntary social work. And in 2003, he received an award from the Government of Canada for 10 years of voluntary service. That is the charitable man that I love. He's the kindest man, given his stature, that was able to at least assist those who needed assistance. So my personal story is, you don't know, I was raised mostly in the United States. In 1970, my parents, my mom and dad, immigrated to New York, Brooklyn, New York. I was schooled there. I was 9 years at a time, along with my brother. And I built a career. I became an engineer, a mechanical engineer from Rutgers University in New Jersey. And I started my career with Polaroid. in Boston, Massachusetts. I quickly got married to my girlfriend at the time because I wanted Polaroid to pay for her expenses to move over, so we had to do a marriage thing. So we did an informal married thing, which my mom didn't like, but we did it anyhow. And I ended up at Polaroid as an engineer there. Then I went on to Lotus Development, IBM, and so on. So I pretty much had a little 30 years of mingling with these Fortune 500 companies. One of the things that stood out for me was that when I entered a meeting room, a boardroom, what have you, I was the only black person there. It was all white. And this is where Uncle Fella inspired me. Because I knew back in the 70s how he would come to several banks, his transactions, his management and confidence was amazing. And I watched that, and I used that to say, if he can do it, and he's my relative, and he's in this world where he is the minority, and he's managing these types of transactions and having a sense of humor about it, why can't I? And that was the one inspiration that allowed me to advance my career in a world where, at the time, back in the 70s, it's changed since then, where I was the only one of a kind. And I had to blend in and simulate and achieve as if that was not a factor. But I knew it wasn't a factor because my uncle gave me the inspiration to advance, to grow, and to assimilate in cultures that were foreign to me at the time. And that's what I love about my uncle. And I will miss him terribly. I will miss his presence. But I will know forever his spirit will live in me because he has raised me to that extent. Thank you.
Namaste, good night everyone. I am Ganga Singh. Just a word of advice for other speakers, don't touch anything. I am Ganga Singh. I have been a friend of Hubert, Mr. Dolsingh, since the 1980s. He had a tradition of inviting us every Friday evening at his office, and there would be food from the restaurant and drinks. You'd have an array of persons, a whole network of persons at different levels of the society, and that therefore he was when you entered there, Hubert was, how can I put it? He was tower of energy, and whenever he walked into any room subsequently, all the oxygen was drawn to him. He had this personality that was infectious and contagious. So Hubert, then we had his friend Muntaz Ali, who was the CFO at TNTech, and chatted, everything. Will talk across the whole spectrum of the society: politics, management, who is doing what, a little bit of gossip in between too. But he was the center there, drawing everyone together on a weekly or fortnightly basis. It is there that Mr. Dolsingh, I was a young lawyer at the time, then engaged me to go before the industrial court to help out a person who was fired by a former Chief Justice. The former Chief Justice was then the president of the Blind Welfare Association, and this chap, in a fit of rage by the then president, fired him. So Mr. Dolsingh then said, we cannot allow this injustice to continue. And we went before the industrial court, and the industrial court delayed the matter because when they read the affidavit and they saw who had fired this young man, they delayed everything. Eventually, he was reinstated. But that represented that part of Hubert Dolsingh. He was a man who stood up with the downtrodden. And pro bono work with his consultancy was all the time available. But what impressed you about him whenever you saw him? His attention to detail. From his exquisite handwriting in that little black book he had, which detailed everything. The black diary. He detailed everything in a very exquisite handwriting. And that his memory never failed him, though. Never failed him. So he was that type of man, a unique and iconic individual. Last time I met him was at Kay's birthday party at the Diwali Nagar site, and he was in good spirits, and as usual, dressed to the hilt, and really very much the kind of personality you are drawn to. My memories of him, you just have to sit down and listen when he talked about his New Year's in Manhattan over the years. His New Year's in Manhattan over the years, and you just said, what a life. He had a full life, and he's a wonderful human being, a loving man to his family. I shared the same birthday with one of his daughters, and he never let me forget that. So, October 5th. Yeah. So he was like that. He was family oriented, his grandchildren, everything. Hubert Dolsingh is a man and a mentor for me, and somebody whom I look up to for inspiration. And it is aspirational for everybody in this life to be as warm, loving, and kind, and generous as Hubert Dolsingh. May his soul rest in peace.
Good evening, everybody. My name is George Gomez. I've known Mr. Hubert Dolsingh for about 12 years. And to what you said, I remember the little black book very in detail, because every time we would come visit, he would show us the numbers that he had there. He kept them to the T. He actually had a better accounting system than we did. What I praise the most about him is his wisdom and the stories he would tell us, his experiences in life, his trips with the family. And I think the most important part that I experienced through the family, the Dolsingh family, is the unity that you guys have. And I think that's what he leaves behind. And he did a wonderful job with all of you and with his friends. He felt everybody, he made everybody feel at home, regardless of your social class. And that was amazing. Not everybody can do that. So he's going to be dearly missed by us. I know that we'll still have an extended family with you guys here and elsewhere. Thank you.
I just wanted to read out a message from Erwin Diamond from Toronto, Canada. We have been very good friends with the Diamond family, and this is a message from Erwin. I am grieving the passing of my old friend and mentor, Hubert Dolsingh. In the over 4 decades that I've known this giant of a man, I can honestly say that he was a man's man. He was the epitome of an astute businessman who made his fortune by sheer instinct and trust. He had the uncanny gift of sizing up a person on immediate contact. In fact, when I first met him, he entrusted me with a vast sum of money without any type of guarantee whatsoever. He was completely meticulous in his financial dealings, the black book again. If you borrowed a certain amount from him, he held you accountable for that exact amount to the penny. He was a well-known philanthropist, dedicating his valuable time and money to the blind welfare. He was well known for the advice he would dispense to the public regarding employment rights and procedures, and even went to court on behalf of many people who he felt needed assistance in their fight for their rights in the working sector. He was highly respected by all classes of society and would not distinguish between any of those classes in his fight for justice. He was a modest man who shied away from any public appointments. He had a regular column in the Catholic News, dispensing advice to the public. He was extremely disciplined when it came to his physical well-being. I, who was 2 decades younger, could barely keep pace with him on his walks around the savannah. But above all, he was dedicated to his dear wife and family, as well as a loyal and loving friend. This is a huge loss to the Trinidad community, to his wonderful family, and the world at large. May his life be an inspiration to his children, grandchildren, and all of those who knew him. That was from Erwin Diamond.
Is everyone writing PCC 793 or PCX 8848? Is there a person like, how does this even? Anybody else? Hey, let's just identify it and now it's quiet and trying to pretend you're not respected. They just want to eat out one of the classes.
We have another message from Dad's niece, Valentina. Now, Dad's sister, Elmina, passed last October. She lived in Venezuela. So this is from her daughter on behalf of Venezuelan cousins. I am Valentina Toledo, niece. I send these words from Venezuela. I can hardly express everything it meant to me, Uncle Fella, as we affectionately call him. He was the uncle on my mother's side with whom I had the most contact despite the geographical distance. We lived in different countries. However, there is much to be grateful for and much to remember. He and my mother, Elmina, or Mimi, were always very close. Thank you, Uncle, for teaching us to maintain that union. Today, I want to hug my cousins, Mintri, Atri, and Nishi from a distance, but especially my Aunt Kate, dear. Move forward, surrounded by the love you deserve. I'm sure that's how your beloved husband would want it. With a lot of love, Valentina.
Good evening, everyone. I am sitting there thinking, if I have to say something, what will I say? My relationship with my uncle started out as an uncle, but then it changed when I became a late teenager. We moved from uncle to friends, and there was a time that it was him, Doc, as I always call him, Ranji, myself, and Bindra. Always together. My many trips abroad with him and all the good times we had. But one thing that's present here tonight, or is not present here tonight, and after a conversation we had last year when we spoke about family. And I recall telling him 25, 30 years ago, if there was an occasion in our family, I'm talking about his mother's side of the family, we would need friends, we would need strangers, we'll fill the room. And what has happened in the last few years, his death has now brought an end to that Dolsingh generation. My mother and Hubert Dolsingh were first cousins. Earlier this year, the two last surviving Swarat Singhs passed away. So that generation is gone again. And my generation, we are scattered all over. Perhaps we don't pay too much attention to family as his generation did. But I want to pay tribute to him, and everybody has spoken so eloquently, Ganga, Pete, and to tell him as we bid him goodbye from this world on to another, that he has lived his life well, he has walked the walk, he has influenced a lot of changes in people's lives, and he will be truly missed. I know for a fact that one thing he cherished were people around him. I last spent 2 or 3 hours with him in August in Toronto, and I know it was a bit difficult because Hubert Dolsingh could not be in charge as he always wanted to be. He was the towering person in any room he was. But today, this is his farewell, and I wish that his soul will find peace wherever it's go, and to Auntie Kay, my loving cousins Mintri, Atri, Nishi, and their families. This is a sad time, but it reminds us that our faith is what will carry you through this difficult period. There's no two ways about it. It's a very difficult period. And we all, or each of us in some way or the other, have been through it. And memories are what we now have, and memories are what there is to cherish. Thank you all so very much for those of you who came out tonight to support our family. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Try not to touch the mic here. My name is Malika Manmohan Singh, and I am Nishi Archery's and Mintry's much younger cousin. And I say that for a reason. And I say that very specifically for a reason, because to be honest, I'll have to admit that I sort of remember Uncle Fella and the girls, but to be honest, we were much closer with Uncle Ranji and Uncle Bindra. But I do have 3 memories of Uncle Fella that tell me a little bit about him. One is frankly his bizarre name, Uncle Fella. I never understood how I could have an uncle with a name like Uncle Fella. And really, but that is just because he is what I call a Cedrosian. It's only someone from Cedros who could have a name like Uncle Fella. And that's what I will always think about. I mean, I've heard people talk about, others mention the last of the Dolsinghs as a daughter of someone from Cedros. I think it's a loss not just to the country, but also a loss to Cedros. The other memory I have of Uncle Fella was actually at the restaurant, where he's the first time I ever had a pork pow, but I wasn't supposed to eat pork. So I distinctly remember him giving it to me, and I got a little buff on the side there from that. And the last memory I have of him actually is fairly recently. A couple of years ago, he pulled me aside. And again, I wasn't particularly close to Uncle Fella, but he pulled me aside and told me and gave me a little lecture about asking me whether I paid my housekeeper her NIS. And I just was really a little bit confused. I don't think at the time I knew that Uncle Fella had worked with the NIB, to be honest. But that tells me something about the integrity of this person, and a few of you have mentioned that before, someone who stood up for the less fortunate. And even after by this time he'd already retired, he made a point of telling me this, and that just tells me something about the integrity of him as a person. So those are my 3 memories of Uncle Fella. I think my last point is, of course, I think the reflection of anyone is a reflection of their children. So I do know Nishi quite well. We've gotten to know each other over the past 15 years. Our children are friends. Her meticulous behavior or her meticulous approach to life, I think, Nishi, you probably have a black book somewhere as well. I think that in itself, as well as, of course. So I think just, the last thing to say is anyone who could have raised 3 lovely ladies as he did, and I know Auntie had a part in this as well, I think that says a lot about his character. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Biharis, Mom's family, thanks for everyone being here tonight, for the support and the love. You can hear, no pressure. Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. I'll start again. Thank you all for being here tonight, for giving the love and support that this family needs. On behalf of the Biharis and all of Mom's family, we appreciate everyone being here, those who came from far, those who came from near, overseas, and everywhere else. Thank you all for being here. Moms of the girls really need the support today. I don't know if all of you knew, and many of you know, I was their first child. When Moms got married, I moved into their home, in a wooden home that they lived in, with 2 bedrooms. And everyone thought at that time he married a woman with a child. But no one knew that I was her sister. She took me in because she was a teacher, and she wanted me to learn Hindi, which I never did. But growing up with Dad, I call him Papi at the time, out of respect. We all knew him as Papi. and he was very strict. And I guess I was his experiment for having kids, because he was very strict and at the same time very loving, very understanding. When I had a problem, I can talk to him, and I would get the best advice possible. He always taught me to be on time, because I remember when I was going to school in Belmont, and if I did not get ready by 7:30, he'd be gone, and I would have to find my way to Belmont from Sawa. Another memory I have of him, teaching how to be kind to people no matter what stature you are in life. He would have, I remember the days, the very olden days, when he would have my mom cook, and on New Year's Day, go out and hand boxes of food to the homeless people. Remember that, Mom? That only shows the kind of person he was. He was a very kind and genuine person who taught us to be respectful of each other no matter what stature in life, where we are in life. And that's the person I will always remember. He will always have in our hearts. He came into our family, and my mom actually loved him more than, anything else. He would always, they had a relationship that nobody else had with their son-in-law. Everybody would say, an in-law, oh, come on. But that wasn't the case with my mom and him. And those are the kinds of things that I would remember with him. And I'm thankful that he took me in his home from 1961 to 1973. I lived with them as their first child. So thank you, Dads, for everything that you taught me in life. And Moms, I wish you all the best. Be strong. And you always have our love and support from the family and friends that you are here, and those who couldn't make it today. Okay? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Atri. I'm Dad's second daughter, and this is Chantal, his first grandchild, and his great-grands. Sienna, how old are you? 4. And Chase, who can't talk yet, 4 months. Today we heard a lot about Dad's achievements, and all his titles, and all his medals. But I'll tell you, being a grandfather and a great-grandfather was his highlight. He loved his grandchildren. And when I became a nanny, now that I'm a nanny, he said, you're going to love your grandchildren so much, even a little more than your own children.
Wait, what are you saying?
So then I said, Dad, this is such a great feeling. He goes, I told you so. I told you being a grandparent is special. And being a great-grand, he had the opportunity to spend the last summer with them, which was great. And the past couple weeks, while Dad was ailing, he was able to spend quality time with his grandchildren. And he gave them great advice, told them how to do good. Please do good. That was his advice to his grandchildren. And, he passed after they all flew out, and they're now trying to fly in. And he never wanted us to stop our lives professionally or personally to fly back because he was ailing. As you can see, we have Ari here, who lives here. Chantal came back. And Mintry's 2 kids are en route now from England. And Keisha, who had a major licensing exam that ended 4 o'clock this evening, she's on a plane now. Because Nana told them, do not stop your life professionally because I'm ailing. So they would be here tomorrow. So Daddy, thank you. And you died 88 years old. And when I reflect on that, 88 is double infinity. So you've done it all. You completed everything you wanted to do. You shared, your legacy will live on in your daughters, your grandchildren, and your great-grands now. Thank you, and we will make you proud.
You want to say your thing? Say, Titi Nana, I will miss you.
Titi Nana, I will miss you.
Do you say anything else? Say have fun in heaven.
I have fun in heaven.
Thank you. There are refreshments in the foyer if anybody would like anything. Coffee, corn soup, and delicious sack boxes. You'll think it's Starbucks. So fancy.
I love you, Titi Nana. I hope you have a good time in heaven.
Be careful here. All right. Good evening, friends, family, loved ones. I don't have a speech to say, but I just want to say I have a lot of fond memories with this man, handsome man that I call my uncle, Hubert Dolsingh, Uncle Fella. So, what would I want to say? I can't even start off because there are so many memories. For one, Uncle and I share the same birthday. So I was very fortunate to spend many, many birthdays with Uncle because we share the same birthdays, especially in New York, his second home. He loved New York, so we spent a lot of birthdays together. But more importantly, growing up in Trinidad, after Atri migrated to Canada, we spent a lot of time in Sawa with Nishi, Auntie Kay, and Uncle Fella. It was our second home. And Uncle shared a lot of memories with us. He taught us a lot. His business ethics, he's so brilliant, and he has shared so much with us growing up to give us the strength to carry on. And not only for us, for a lot of people, Uncle has left behind a legacy for his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren in a lot of ways. Financial ways, family-oriented, the brilliance, the intellect to move forward, the goodwill that Nishi even does here today, and I'm sure will carry on. He's left behind a legacy for all of us. I truly love him, will miss him. Auntie, I know this is a difficult time for you, but the good thing is you have the Bihari blood in you. You have that strength to move, to take all those memories that you have shared with him, and that's all we can ask for. We're here to create memories, right? And you have created a lifetime of memories with Uncle and with all the kids and grandkids, and that's what you have to look back and reflect on and take you to the next step in your journey, in your healing process. And Nishi, Mintri, Atri, siblings, you guys know we're here for you. We love you guys, and I do feel for you. I don't know what it's like, but it's close. It's very close and dear to home, and I wish you guys the best, and we're here for you. Thank you, guys.
Hello, I'm Suraj. Hi, Nishi. Nishi, Atri, Mintri. You are the love of our life, and cousins, we grew up together. On behalf of the Bikram family, I'd like to condolences to you and your loved one, especially Auntie Kay. You miss your loved one, I know. Well, one of my main memory that I remembered with Uncle, he's just a loving man, very caring man. He's very meticulous with his financial. He left us memories to take a long way in our livelihood. Uncle, you paved a way for us, the three siblings, my brother, my sister, and myself, having us migrate to the US. And you have opened up avenues for us which no one has ever done. So in this way, we give thanks to that. And you will be missed in our hearts. We do love you, and we will miss that smile that you have every time we visit and when you visit us. Thank you, folks.
Everybody, greetings, 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 greetings. I must thank the folks for tuning out for Mr. Internment here. It's not very easy that, you know, that when somebody that you really care for pass, you always feel, how? But what I must say that the folks who gathered here this afternoon is a microcosm of the wider society. And anybody who haven't been touched in some way with Mr. Dolsingh, they're missing out something great in their lives. Because number one, I got to know Mr. Dolsingh in the late 60s, right? Where there is the Hall of Justice that is reconstructed there. I was working as an insurance salesman for Western General Insurance Company. And some whatever happened, Mr. Dolsingh came around and said he wanted some agents because he was forming a new company. So a lot of us now decide to leave Western General and hang on to Mr. Dolsingh's idea. So we went down to Cuba for some big meetings and whatever. Anyway, within that whole situation, there was the Black Power movement. And with the Black Power movement now, I happen to be very much involved with that because I was a founder member of the Black Panthers organization. So I sitting down with Mr. Dolsingh every so often and wondering for Mr. Dolsingh, I can't be selling no insurance again because I have Black Power now. He said, but what the hell wrong with you, boy? He said, you ought to hold on here with me. I said, no, Mr. Dolsingh, we get in piece of land in Wallerfield. And I had to go up there. He said, all right, go. You want to go? We have the directions. We go on up there. He said, find me up there now. I come up and say, what are you doing up here? Why you don't take some time and come down? I said, well, I wouldn't be doing that because I'm looking to fly out just now. I'm looking to go away. He said, all right. So I went away, I'll come back or whatever. But the point I'm making that Mr. Dolsingh was such a meticulous human being. And anybody in Trinidad, Tobago, and the wider community worldwide who miss a death of Mr. Dolsingh, they miss a big part of their life. The type of person he been, a very meticulous, courageous, encouraging human being. And this is the kind of vibration that we are lacking in a lot of aspects of our daily lives. So, sisters, he always tell me about his daughters, his families, and whatever, because he used to find me out in Wallafila, because I still live in Wallafila, because we was able to get some land up there and all of that. He always find me up there, and we would lime and talk and whatever. So, as I said, anybody who miss out on Mr. Dolsingh, they miss out on a big part of their life. Right? So, in terms of sympathy, we can't sympathize with that, because we don't know how long we will be here. We just got to give health, strength, courage, and guidance, and share the good things in life. Because we live in a place called Trinidad and Tobago, which is a microcosm of the wider world. And if we don't understand certain things about it, we'll always live a life of complaint, and we never get a chance to share our life and experience certain things. I've been fortunate to go to North America, go to Europe, whatever. And Trinidad and Tobago, you need more people like Mr. Hubert Dolsingh. Okay, so everybody, in terms of sympathy, there's a limit to sympathy. But to his family, he always tell me about his daughters and his granddaughters and whatever. Let us thank the Creator for whatever the Creator offers us. All the best, everybody. Have a nice evening, and all the best.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lakshman Singh, a name that was given to me by my uncle fella. Those of you who know me here will know me as Boy. I could go on and on, probably all night, talking about memories, about teachings, his life, that I had the honor, the privilege to know of. I'll be brief because that's as much as I can do. Opportunities, discipline, guidance, respect, family, love. Those are the words that would describe this legend. He has taught me to be disciplined in all forms of life, in everything that you do. In raising my children, in my everyday life, by the first thing you do when you get up in the morning is make up your bed. And that will teach you the discipline to have respect for yourself first. And you will respect everyone and everything around you. I know it's been said that this was the last of the Dolsingh and the last of the legend, but for all the young people in here, and even the parents that have kids, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of what he has taught, what he's leaving behind. He has groomed me from, and I would use the word openly, from nothing, from, you can't even see it down there, to who I am today. And I would like to call myself a very successful, healthy, happy human being. And that's all owed to my uncle fella. He had no judgment on what race you were, what color you were, how old, how young you were. He took me into his home with his 3 daughters and his niece, Carla, Mintri, Atri, and Nishi, in Canada. A young boy with 3 young girls. Here, live with them. Go to school. Be a better person, be a better man. And I am here today, decades ago. He didn't judge anyone. He helped, and I won't say everyone, but those that are not even here yet. He helped your kids, your grandkids are not even born. Because with his teachings, you can raise them into better people. I'm going to stop now because
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is. You all hearing me? Good evening. My name is Kavita. I came into mom and dad's life 3 years ago. And in that 3 years, this man has made such a powerful impact on me. There are so many things that I could say about him. The mischief that he made during the night will always remain with me. Just today, I had some videos where I send these girls with him doing stuff just to make you laugh. He had this particular bowl. He always carried it with him. He would put it on his head. He used to wear on mom's dress, all kind of thing. Right? Regardless, he was such an amazing individual. And earlier on in this year, both me and Caro, this lovely lady here, let's say we were going through stuff, as you know, life throws curveballs at you ever so often. And we sat at the table while he was eating, and we were having a discussion. And he listened so intently. And at the end of this discussion, he said, I want to tell you all something. So we said, well, what is it? He said, what did he say, Harry? The road looks better ahead. And that stuck with me. It had a point in this year as well where I was going through a divorce. And the morning of that hearing, I was working, and just as I was about to leave to go downstairs, he looked at me, was up. He said, what's the matter? So I told him, and he repeated those same exact words to me. Even though I was in tears, he said, no matter what happens, always stay your course. He had many names for me. He used to call me the ghost, he used to call me Guyanese. Everything. The relationship that I had with him wasn't just a caregiver and a patient. I looked at him as if he was my own father. And as I said, he was such an amazing individual. Everybody here could attest to that. And, you know, it is a sad thing, but at the end of the day, wherever he is happy. I know this. He was, excuse me. He was such an amazing individual. And Dad, we love you. We will miss you. And no matter what happens from this point on, we know that you will give everybody the strength that they need to move forward. And thank you, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beverly. Don't start. That is him. So I came into Mom and Dad life a couple of months ago. But it's not just some months. To me, it's like forever. I've learned so much from them, so much. When I first met Dad, never forget that morning, he was like, you could see me? You sure you could see me? And I was like, yeah. Him, but what is that? And from that moment, that morning, my name is Lashes to him. Lashes, and he's go on. But He bring a very good impact in my life. And his wife, Miss Mom, we call her. I love them very much, and I appreciate everything. So may him rest in peace, but he is in my heart always. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. My name is Carol. I will be short and sweet because my chair is easy to fall. Words can't describe this gentleman here. You know, I've been with him, I don't know how many years, but I was with him a long time. And he was like my father, my mentor, friend, comforter, you know. If I go to work and, I would seem sad over, he would say, I don't like to see you, so, you just make me feel sad, I will cry. And, he will always give me that advice that I need. I remember last year or year before I was going through a real bad breakup with my husband, and, I was wondering whether to go back, stay, leave, and, he said, Carol, move forward, don't look back. And as Kavita said, he always tells us, the road always looks better ahead. So, I will always take all those treasured memories to heart. I had loved him so much, and I know he did love me, I remember one time in the mall, Mommy, can you remember? Every Friday, when he used to go in the office, he would always tell, that time it had a nurse named Rona, used to work. He will always say, get dressed, we going out. Almost every Friday, he will take us places. And this Friday, he carried us in the mall, and I left my phone on top of the table. And he said, go and order some food. And we went and ordered the food, but when I come back, my phone nowhere to be found. And he said, you must believe it, so go by the people and ask them. And that had me all over the mall until tears started to run down my... Then he told me, Mom, take it. He take the phone and he hide it in Mom bag. And he started to blame Mom. He says, Mom who take it. Then he tell us, we sit down in the mall. See how many people you could make friends with in the mall. And that was the challenge of the day. He said, we can't just sit down here. You have to see how much people you could talk to. And he had us, saying hello to people. And, that was just his fun with us. He will hide things from us, our phones, oh God, but he will always tell us, if I hide anything, it will always be close by. So we have so many memories of fun, entertainment, going out. So, Dad, we miss you, we love you, and we will cherish all the memories of you.
Where do I begin? I'm Susan, and it all began 29 years ago when I left Cedros looking for work. And I was introduced to my dearest Nishi, who then introduced me to Dad. And here I am, 29 years later, so much memory. Most of all, Dad, I always call him Swami. He was my Swami, my guru, my dad, my uncle, who I love dearly. Whew. Fun memories. 4 o'clock every morning used to be his walk around the Savannah or Victoria Square. And the voice would say, you coming? It will be either yes or not this morning, Dad. And then when Dad, it was risky going out to exercise, he used to ride the bike. So he would come downstairs for his morning papers, and I would hear, you waking? And my response would be, you having a coffee? And that used to be the morning. And of late, when I used to go upstairs to say, hey Dad, heading off to work, see you later, it would be, don't come back with your hands swinging. And Mom would say, not every day she'll bring something for you, He say, yeah, she just had to buy a pack of sweetie and have it in her pocket. just a sweetie. To my dearest mom and dad, love you both. And remember last Sunday, Dad saying, take care of moms. And Mom said, Suze always do. So Mom, you have us, always. To my dearest Nishi, Minchi, and Achi, love you guys. Thank you for being my mentor, my sisters, my everything. And to my dearest Nana, may your soul rest in peace. And I must say, my dad is here today, my mom has passed, but they all know as long as Susan is in Trinidad, don't ask Susan where she's spending Christmas, Mother's Day, or Father's Day, always sour. Thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. The Dolsingh family has showed me that family is not about blood. Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
Hey, good night, everybody. My name is Carlston Bridgemohan. I am the son of Carlston, Peter Bridgemohan, and Yuna Gopi Singh Bridgemohan. I represent the Bridgemohan family. Hello, you hear me now? I tried to pose on the podium now. So my name is Carlston Bridgemohan, and I'm the son of Carlston, Peter Bridgemohan, and Yuna Gopi Singh Bridgemohan. I represent the Bridgemohan family here tonight. You would notice on the let's call this niche, on this pamphlet, it says Bridgemohan Singh. So we were really Bridgemohan Singh, but my dad dropped the Singh, and when I asked Uncle about it, he gave me his own version of his own story. So I just left it at that. I'm not going to tell all the version he gave me either. But I don't know if you guys noticed that. It is HBM gold. Yeah, that's a medal. And it's HBD, the honorary title given to him by his parents. Now, if you're math inclined and you were to divide the two, you would see the HB's cancel out, you remember the MD. And that brings us to the managing director of Prudential, a company started as the national insurance came on stream, the 10th of April, 1972. Again, he got married in the same year I was born. So he always reminded me of that and told me I was special because that was the year they got married. I said, for real? He says, yes. So Uncle was an interesting person. He was many different things to many different people. Friends, family, acquaintances, you know. This lady sitting on here, Auntie K. He loved her dearly no matter whatever he did in his life. Family was family and Auntie K was his wife. Nothing else. And it ain't changed up to this day. You know what I mean? I remember being in the hospital when he came back to the room and he said to Auntie, "You are my darling wife, I would always love you." And Auntie said, "Thank you so much for saying that." And I was happy to see you felt so appreciative of what he said, you know what I mean? And it was nice of him at the same time too. So Uncle, you know, had various functions in life. He was with the blind welfare, he was with the Sandy Point Beach Club, he was with his own organization, different things. Yes, he spoke to that, about that too, how he brought it from where it was to where it is. You know what I mean? He was proud of his achievements. And I would say, basically, he was an astute businessman because he always saw an opportunity and took the risk as an entrepreneur. Sometimes he would say to me, "Boy, you know, I didn't tell Auntie because if I only tell Auntie, she would say so forth, so forth. So I just went about and do it. And so happened it worked out. And it always seemed to work out for him. So he had a good karma, so to speak. You know what I mean? For me, I have known these guys since I was about 4 years old. I know the house where it was the little pool when the black dog came running me, dog, and I frightened as a little kid. And Uncle saying, no, don't move, it's okay. So I have spent basically all my life around them. You know what I mean? And for me, I think it was a pleasure knowing him. I've never seen someone who was so determined in terms of discipline as well. I mean, he didn't give me any of it. I kind of indisciplined in that sense. But he would walk every day, don't matter where. Even when he was in Toronto, I go visit him in the hotel. If it was raining or whatever, it had snow. The man would walk up and down umpteen times to the exact amount of time on his watch and then stop. Never seen that before. I can't do that up to this day. You know what I mean? So he's an amazing individual, you know. Everybody would have their own version of a human being because everybody's experiences with a particular human being are different. And some would be good, some would be not so good. So it all depends on what perspective you had in terms of how you saw the person and where the person was in your life space and your lifetime. For me, Uncle was a great guy. He was always there. Sometimes he called me all 11, 12 in the morning, 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I say, Uncle, what happened? I just call it a talk. I said, God, Uncle, wake me up for that. You know what I mean? Sometimes in my earlier days, I was in banking. Now I'm in an insurance business. And I'd come home, and he wants to go walk around the savannah. Doesn't matter what time it is, he calls me. I'll pass and pick you up. No was no option. I pass to pick you up. You should beep, beep, here the cow and blow. Come outside, let's go walk. So there are many interesting experiences I had with Uncle. His journey has been fulfilled by him as he wanted it. It has now come to an end. He moves into a celestial realm where he will rejoin the other family members who have gone before him. Another interesting quirk is that he was the last of the 12 children, and he's also the last of the 12 to go to. So there's plenty of interesting things in terms of Uncle, and unique as well. I will miss him. I bid him farewell in this journey. I know he goes to meet my dad, mom, and stuff. You know, my dad and Uncle were first cousins. And yes, they were like brothers, actually. And like they always had a special bond. I don't even know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. But they just had it. They were always there for each other. He would speak to me sometimes when Uncle now started off in the insurance business, how we would go with him all to Cedrus and stuff and tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So the bond was always there. And I guess I grew up with that same bond as well. So in closing, I would like to say, Uncle, thanks for all the times. I will continue to be there for Auntie. You don't have to worry about that. Well, you know, the kids always know we're there for each other. So that's not my story, you know what I mean? So have a safe journey. Say hello to Dad and Mom for me. Uncle Christian and all the others who have gone before. Take care. God bless.
All the stories have been very touching and heartfelt. Before we wrap it up, is there anyone else who would like to come up and share their memories of my uncle and Hubert Dolsingh? Anyone else? Okay, well, I'm not going to do a countdown, but would the girls come up as well, please? I think it's very fitting that you three honor your mom and dad with the closing of this public ceremony. And I'll let Mintri take on.
Thank you all for sharing all your wonderful memories. We do have black books that we write in, and we have attention to detail. If you notice on the brochure, we did not put the late Hubert Dolsingh because Dad was never late. So we put beloved because he would have hated if we used that word late. We have learned a lot from both Mom and Dad, and we have to thank them for the life they have given us and all the opportunities they have given us. And not only us, but our children, grandchildren, all the families. I think we've learned a lot about being family-oriented, helping out anyone, family, and again, not to judge people. That's a takeaway, regardless of your race, your position in life, you're a person. And that's what we got from Dad, you know, we can, to help people, to keep proper records and time management. One thing with Dad, you never put the time wrong, 5 minutes faster. You had 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. It was not 5 past 8. But we've learned a lot from Dad, and I think in all of us, we do emulate a lot from him. I hope we've made him proud. Before he passed, we did a Thanksgiving circle with all the grandchildren and children, and everyone had an opportunity to tell him what he meant to each and every one of us, which I think he really appreciated. He passed doing, lying there with, everyone knows he loved to be in his bedroom and have everyone hang out, and that's how Dad passed. In prayer, 13, 14 of us, and Pandit Shiva was saying a prayer, and Dad just passed peacefully. And that just shows the type of person he was, and we are grateful that he's our dad. We will miss him dearly. There's a big hole in our hearts now, which I don't think will ever heal and mend. But, we are strong Dolsingh women, and also Bihari women, because Mom's also from a strong family, and we will take on board everything Dad has taught us, and we'll carry on. Thank you. And thank you again for everyone who has flown in from America, New York, Canada, England. And the set who's coming in the airport. We really appreciate that you take the time off your busy schedules to be here with us and support us. And we know we can count on you all for that support going forward, because we've all grown up together. Everyone, all of us have grown up now, and we again thank you very much, and Dad, you rest in peace, and until we meet again. Thank you.
We have refreshments in the foyer for everyone. Feel free. There's corn soup, which is actually delicious. I haven't had that in a while. So, and some lunch, some boxes as well. Please help yourselves.
I just turned this on. It came on. I mean, let's see. Sorry. You think there is stuff? On this? Yeah. That's what it is, huh? So you think it's the TV as like a screensaver or something, or a power saver? Yeah, because all I did was just play with this. Yeah, I turned it on, yeah. So I guess just let it go as far as... I didn't know it until I saw it just a minute ago. Yeah, but we didn't know I didn't see it myself. But I know my lunch kid is here. No, it's good. I'm going to munch now.